As we all saw in 2024, the prediction markets, compared to polling, news sources, ended up being the most accurate data we had on that election. And this is because they leverage market dynamics to objectively analyze data, circumvent biases, and ultimately they work best as they scale up in size. So given this track record, I went ahead and collected a few rather spicy topics currently in circulation. And first up, we have how many people will Trump deport in 2025? And here, since about late February, the market overwhelmingly thinks that the total will be between 250 and 500,000 people. And to give some context here, that number is actually not that impressive given the rhetoric of the Trump administration. Last year, under the Biden administration, in March, deportations were around 100,000, and this year the number is significantly behind that figure. But one potential contributor here is simply a drop in illegal crossings under the Trump administration. And according to some sources, this drop has been rather significant. And next we have the probability that Trump will announce a buffer zone on the Mexican border. And this is sitting at 27% chances. And this is based off new reports that the Trump administration is considering turning a 60-foot wide strip of federal land on the border into some type of military base. This would essentially create a military buffer zone stretching across a big part of the US-Mexico border, and it would allow active duty troops to get more involved in immigration because they would be trespassing on a military base. And as of the latest data, there's a 10% chance that Greenland will become part of the United States in 2025. And this does follow the latest news of a new delegation heading over to Greenland. Now, this one I found very interesting, because this is the market's take on how many gold cards the Trump administration will sell in 2025. This program was pitched to launch in mid-March, but as of right now, March 24th, it still hasn't launched. And despite many claims of potential sales, as of right now, we have no confirmed sales or even pre-orders. And the market thinks that there's a 16% chance that 0 will be sold in 2025, a 14% chance that between 25,000 and 100,000 are sold. Another 14% think that between 2,500 and 5,000 is a more realistic number. And finally, 12% think 5,000 to 10,000. But we can see that the vast majority of market participants do think that gold cards will be sold in 2025 with an average number of around 10,000. And at $5 million a pop, that would equal $50 billion in potential revenue. And the final topic here is around DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency. Here we have two bets, one around how much spending DOGE will cut in 2025, and the other is around the job cuts in 2025. Now, very fascinatingly, when it comes to spending cuts, the vast majority of market participants, 70%, think that the total for 2025 will be less than $50 billion, even though as of right now, the official DOGE claims are upwards of $115 billion, which means that most people think that DOGE is currently overestimating their success. And we do have independent sources that indicate that the current number of actual savings is more around $2 to $10 billion. And when it comes to layoffs and reducing the workforce of the federal government, here, about 60% of people think that the number for 2025 will be upwards of 200,000 people. In total, 2.4 million civilians work for the federal government, and Trump and Musk have suggested cuts that could reach upwards of 300,000 people. And as of now, even skeptics put the actual number of layoffs at a pretty impressive 50,000 to 100,000 as of mid-March. So this number of 200,000 predicted by the market does seem rather probable.